Hi everyone, I'm Angela and welcome to my channel, Befriend and Tend. I want to show you something today. Can you see this chart? It's based off of a blog post by Tim Urban on his website, Wait But Why. It is a chart of how many weeks left I have to live if I live until age 90. Now before you decide this is too terrible to think about and click away, give me a chance to explain to you how it's really not all that morbid and how it can help you live a better life. This concept of contemplating your own death has a name. It's called Memento Mori, and it was practiced by the Stoics centuries ago to ground them in the idea of how precious life is. Being in our bodies and being able to experience any of our senses is precious, whether that's sight or sound or scent or taste or touch. The ability to feel emotions is precious, whether they uplift us or whether they feel uncomfortable or painful. We walk around smack dab in the middle of a million miracles every day, and we're kind of oblivious to it. And this makes sense because we have things to do, people to see, lives to live, and so much on our minds. But pausing now and then, or several times a day, to surrender to the mystery and miracle of being here now in the middle of our wild and crazy and imperfect lives is incredibly important. Because look at these squares. Even if I was 5 years old, there's really not a tremendous number of them. And when I'm down here with the last third, it makes every single one of these that much more precious. I think Memento Mori can really help us not sweat the small stuff so much. We don't have to focus on all of the inconveniences in a day, like the person who cut us off on the road, or the person who was rude to us, or the challenges we have getting through bureaucracy to solve a problem. Yes, these are all frustrating and inconvenient in the moment, but when we continue to give a lot of attention to them, we are magnifying them in our lives. And again, looking at these squares here, that's not something that I want to choose to do. So if I can rein it in a little bit, I'm going to try and do that. Focusing on these things that rub us the wrong way is kind of like picking at a mosquito bite. The more we do it, it's going to get infected, it's going to take longer to heal. Whereas if we just experience it and let it go, then we have more time and energy for the good stuff. Memento Mori can also help us make more intentional choices. I remember this story I heard about Steve Jobs, where every morning he would look in the mirror and say, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to be doing what I have planned? And if the answer was no, too many days in a row, he knew that something had to change. I love this, the intentionality of building a life that we enjoy and doing the things that are really important to us. I know there's a lot of reasons why people don't do the things that they really want to do, and I know some of it is circumstance. And some of it, though, I think is we hold ourselves back because we're afraid or because we think that our attention shouldn't be focused on ourselves. It should be focused on something else like our family or our jobs. And I think that there is a way to do the things that we love and that are important to us while still meeting all of our other commitments. I think that begins with baby steps. That chart is a reminder that there's no time like the present to start taking some of those baby steps. Finally, I think Memento Mori can also help us really savor the present moment. And I know I go on and on about the present moment in this channel a lot, and I just believe it's really important, and it has really helped me tremendously to not always be in my head thinking about the future or the past, but to be here now and to experience and appreciate everything that is here now. I'm actually planning to do another video about savoring the present moment, so if that sounds interesting to you, make sure to check it out. I know as a general rule, people don't like to think about mortality. Now, I don't think we necessarily need to be like the Stoics and be thinking about our impending death at every moment, but I do think that considering it now and then, especially maybe once a week when you're about to plan your week, you can check off a square on your week's left grid before you do your weekly planning, and it might sort of help you prioritize the things that matter to you and help you get them in on your calendar. And if once a week seems a little too frequent for you, that's fine. I think Memento Mori can be a little bit like fertilizer, that fertilizer helps nourish the soil and helps the plants grow. And I think a little contemplation on our parts every now and then can really help with appreciating the present moment, not sweating the small stuff, and helping us prioritize and live better lives. If you love the idea of Memento Mori, there is an app called WeCroak, which will send you reminders. I think it's 5 times a day, and the reminders are basically a quote about mortality. And I've used it, but for me, 5 times a day is a little much. So anyway, I will put it in the description below so you can check it out. I'll also put the link for making your own chart like this if you want to do that. And I'll also include links to Tim Urban's website as well. He has a lot of really interesting articles about this. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting the like button. I'll see you next week.